Welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique, and I appreciate you joining me here on my YouTube channel. This is going to be the first of many series where I'm going to start doing a month ahead look at the astrology and pull a tarot month ahead reading for each of the 12 zodiac signs. So I'm really looking forward to this. So in October of 2021, we are going to have Mercury Retrograde September 27th through October 18th. And so Mercury will go direct on October 18th in Libra. We'll have a new moon in Libra on October 4th. Pluto will turn direct at 24 degrees in Capricorn also on October 4th. Saturn turns direct at 6 degrees of Aquarius on October 10th. We'll have a full moon at 27 degrees in Aries on October 20th. And Mars will enter Scorpio, its ruling planet, on October 30th. So I'm really excited to get into it. So please take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs for the month ahead. Okay, I'll see you then. Hi Virgo, and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique, and I appreciate you joining me here. Appreciate you joining me here on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming to this new segment of Scorpio Soul Time where we dive into the month ahead. And I think this is really important because it's going to give you glimpses into how to navigate the month. You can continue to come back throughout the month, and you can also use the astrology important dates that I put at the beginning of the video to help you as you go through the month. So it's helpful for planning in ahead, but it's also helpful as you go through the month. So this October 2021, we do still have Mercury retrograde from September 27th until October 18th. Mercury will go direct in Libra on the 18th. There's a new moon in Libra on October 4th. Pluto turns direct at 24 degrees of Capricorn on October 4th. Saturn turns direct at 6 degrees Aquarius on October 10th. There is a full moon at 27 degrees of Aries on October 20th, and Mars enters Scorpio on October 30th. So I think it's important, Virgo, to keep in mind that we did just come out of your season. The sun just left you last month, as well as we did have that really potent new moon in Virgo in September of planting seeds of intention. So you might see some of those themes still very fresh for you. All right, so we're going to pull 2 cards per week so that we can see what the month ahead looks like for Virgo. So that first week, we have the 10 of Swords. So something you're letting go of that very first week of October. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. So it could have been a bit emotional, but it looks like it was something that was definitely needed. The second week of October, we have the Hangman or the 12 in the Major Arcana. And then we have the 9 of Swords. So you're still kind of hanging on to whatever that is from that first week in October. The third week, we have the 3 of Cups, very positive sign, some type of celebration with others and enjoying the fruits of your labor. And the Sun card in reverse. So really positive third week there in October. And the fourth week, looks like you might be moving away from something emotional. So that might be good for you depending on where you are in your life. And then lastly, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So this is an interesting read because there's kind of like a little of everything this October. So let's get into it for you. So it looks like that first week of October. Remember, the first week of October, we do have that new moon in Libra happening on October 4th. There's also Pluto turning direct on October 4th in Capricorn. So there is definitely some endings here, some kind of mental process, theme, something has come to an end and just needs to be buried. Like there's nothing more you can do and you need to move on from it. With this Ace of Cups in reverse, it's like there is some kind of emotional blessing that comes to you, whether there's people to help you through this, or maybe there's some kind of enlightenment that you get. I think with that new moon in Libra, that first week, I want you to, now that you know, like this is the energy, plant some seeds of intention of how you want to move away from this and how you want this Ace of Cups to really like nourish you and help you through, like if this was like a really hard Ten of Swords for you to deal with, okay? The second week in October, we have the Hangman and we have the Nine of Swords. And so what I do like about this energy is almost like there's something that you've been thinking about with that 12 major arcana Hangman. Like maybe you're knocking around ideas of what you need to do maybe to move forward from this first week. Remember, once we get to the second week of October, Saturn turns direct at 6 degrees of Aquarius. So there is this possibility of maybe some new information is going to come to light because Mercury will be going forward that next week, October 18th. But you still seem like you're kind of still in your feelings or still thinking about it. So this energy I think is going to carry through the first few weeks of October. But I do think that this is positive because once we get to this third week of October, we now have the Three of Cups and the Sun in reverse. So there is definitely some energy of like you've moved past kind of like this heavy stuff and now you're like celebrating with friends, colleagues. Something is going well for you emotionally, and the Sun is in reverse. The Sun card is always a good card to have. When it's in reverse, it just might mean delays, or maybe you're not seeing all of the happiness right away, but it might be delayed gratification. That third week in October, we are at that full moon in Aries at 27 degrees. And like I said, we have the Mercury going direct now. So this might be information that seemed like it was a little cloudy before, or that you were stressing over the first few weeks of October. Now seems like it's not really, it doesn't seem like it's even in the picture anymore. It seems like you're now able to like, you've moved past it and you're like celebrating and you're actually able to move forward. And maybe that full moon in Aries really helps you be able to keep things into perspective. So that's kind of nice to see. And then by the time we get to the fourth week of October, we have the Eight of Cups, which is usually symbolizes moving away from something that was emotional. This can be a physical move. You might be thinking of switching apartments or moving to another state, another city. And it also might be moving for a job offer. I just kind of heard that in my a message, like as I was looking at this card. Like this might mean like you were kind of like, Four of Pentacles tends to be like you're, some people look at it as like hoarding, like you're just like, I'm not moving away from like this specific job that I've had for all this time. But I also look at it as you've been comfortable with this place you've been at, but the universe is kind of like with this Eight of Cups, like giving you a little nudge, like maybe it's time to start putting your resume out there. Maybe it's time to emotionally get detached from this one source, or maybe you have a full-time job and you want to start thinking about venturing off and you know, maybe this is something on the side where you get a side hustle. But there definitely is some kind of energy of Virgo around your resources at the end of the month, especially since Mars enters Scorpio on the 30th and there's a full moon on the 20th. So I'm thinking like at the latter half of the month of October, start looking for these signs of like getting out of your own mental energy and moving into this more like emotional well-being resources energy. I think that is a lot's going to stem off of, you know, your sign is the Hermit for Virgo, where you kind of go inside and you kind of think of, you know, what is it that I need to do to enlighten myself, become more informed, whether it's taking more classes, maybe it's doing something on your own to be able to then come out of the cave and like be enlightened and be able to like teach others. I'm definitely getting that vibe towards the end of the month. So I think that this is going to be a positive month, Virgo, but just kind of pay attention to those first few weeks of October and don't let them get you into a tailspin, because the latter half of October looks a lot more positive. And I think if you just keep these themes in mind as you move throughout the month, you're going to have a good month. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.